Did you know that a tsunami can travel as fast as a jet plane? Yes, these monstrous waves can reach a speed of 500 miles per hour. In the heart of the ocean, a seismic event, a volcanic eruption, or even a landslide can set off a chain reaction. This reaction births a phenomenon we know as a tsunami, a series of giant waves that radiate across the ocean like ripples on a pond, but with far more devastating power. The formation of tsunamis is a display of nature's raw force. The ocean floor shifts abruptly during an underwater earthquake, displacing a colossal amount of water. This displaced water, driven by gravity, seeks equilibrium, resulting in the creation of waves that race across the ocean's surface at high speed. These waves, unnoticeable and harmless in the open ocean, transform into monstrous walls of water as they approach the shallower waters near the coast. Their speed decreases, but their height increases dramatically. That's when the real danger presents itself. Tsunamis are not solitary waves, they arrive in a series, often with the most destructive not being the first. This series of waves, known as a wave train, can last for hours, repeatedly battering the coast with little respite. The unpredictability of tsunamis adds to their terror. Despite advancements in seismic monitoring and early warning systems, the precise timing and magnitude of a tsunami-generating event remain largely unpredictable. One moment, you could be gazing at a calm and serene ocean, and the next, you could be facing a towering wall of water racing towards you at jet speed. This unpredictability, coupled with the immense power of a tsunami, makes every coastline vulnerable. Our understanding of tsunamis, their formation, their speed, and their destructive potential is crucial. It's not about instilling fear, but about fostering respect for the power of nature and understanding the importance of preparedness. The sheer speed and force of tsunamis make them one of the most feared natural disasters. While the Pacific Ocean is infamous for tsunamis, the Atlantic Ocean holds its own hidden threats. Yes, the Atlantic. It's not just a peaceful body of water that kisses the shores of the East Coast. It's a colossal force with a history of unleashing its fury on unsuspecting coastal cities. Let's go back to 1755, to the city of Lisbon, Portugal. A typical day was shattered by a massive earthquake, its epicenter in the Atlantic Ocean. But the Earth's tremors were just the beginning. The Atlantic, in all its might, sent a series of catastrophic waves towards the city. The Lisbon earthquake and the ensuing tsunami claimed tens of thousands of lives, leaving a once vibrant city in ruins. This historical event is a sobering reminder of the Atlantic's potential for destruction. And while the frequency of tsunamis in the Atlantic is lower compared to the Pacific, the threat is real. The East Coast, from the rocky shores of New England to the sandy beaches of New Jersey, is not exempt from this risk. Think of the cities that line this coast. Boston, with its Old North Church, a symbol of freedom and resilience, or Plymouth Rock, the legendary landing site of the Mayflower. Then there's the bustling metropolis of New Jersey, home to iconic landmarks like the Statue of Liberty and the Atlantic City Boardwalk. These cities and their landmarks are ingrained in the fabric of American history and culture, yet they sit vulnerably at the Atlantic's edge. You see, tsunamis are not just a West Coast concern, they are not exclusive to the Pacific's Ring of Fire. The Atlantic Ocean, often seen as the calmer sibling, has the potential to stir up a tsunami that could strike the East Coast. The result? A scene of destruction and desolation, with fires spreading through cities and landmarks swallowed by waves. While not as frequent as in the Pacific, the Atlantic Ocean's potential for generating tsunamis should not be overlooked. The Atlantic's hidden threat is a reminder of the unpredictable nature of our world, a call to prepare for the unexpected, and an invitation to respect the power of the sea. What would happen if a tsunami hit the East Coast, home to some of our most beloved landmarks? This is not a hypothetical question we ask to incite fear, but a reality we must consider as we face the unpredictable wrath of the Atlantic Ocean. One cannot help but think of the Old North Church, standing tall in Boston since 1733. This iconic landmark, instrumental in the American Revolution, has withstood the test of time. But would it be able to withstand the destructive force of a tsunami? The church, with its steeple piercing the New England skyline, is a beacon of our nation's history. A tsunami's assault could potentially reduce this monument to rubble, erasing a tangible piece of our past. A little further south we find Plymouth Rock, the symbolic birthplace of a nation. This humble boulder, engraved with the year 1620, marks the first footsteps of the Pilgrims in the New World. But what if those footsteps were washed away? A tsunami could easily envelop this historic site, leaving behind nothing but the echoes of a past we hold dear. In New Jersey, the potential for devastation is equally heartbreaking. The Statue of Liberty, a beacon of hope and freedom, may be at risk. This towering lady, who has welcomed millions to the land of opportunity, could find herself knee-deep in the Atlantic's fury. And the Atlantic City Boardwalk, a place of joy and entertainment, may be swallowed by the waves, leaving behind only memories of laughter and delight. These landmarks are not just structures or places, they are symbols of our collective history and identity. They remind us of where we've come from and inspire us for where we're going. To lose them to a tsunami would be to lose a piece of ourselves. The potential loss of these landmarks underscores the real and tangible threats tsunamis pose. We must heed these warnings and prepare for the unpredictable, for the sake of our history, our culture, and our future. The waves recede, but the destruction remains. A city in ruins, fires spreading, scenes of desolation. This is the aftermath of a tsunami. In the wake of a tsunami, what once was a vibrant cityscape on the East Coast could be reduced to rubble. The immense power of these waves, a force of nature that we are yet to fully comprehend, could lead to widespread structural damage. Buildings, monuments, homes, everything in the path of the tsunami could be swept away or left severely damaged. The destructive force of a tsunami is not limited to its initial impact. The aftermath could see fires spreading across cities, triggered by ruptured gas lines or electrical faults. These fires could rage uncontrollably, adding to the devastation and chaos. The East Coast, with its dense population and urban infrastructure, is particularly vulnerable to this secondary disaster. The loss of lives is immeasurable. Families could be torn apart, with thousands displaced from their homes. The impact on individual lives is profound and enduring, with survivors left to rebuild their lives from scratch. The mental and emotional toll of such a disaster should not be underestimated. The economic impact of a tsunami could be catastrophic. Businesses could be destroyed, jobs lost, and entire sectors of the economy could be disrupted. The cost of rebuilding, both in terms of infrastructure and community, is immense. The ripple effects of such a disaster would be felt long after the waves have receded and the immediate crisis has passed. Moreover, the environmental impact is equally destructive. Ecosystems could be disrupted, with local flora and fauna at risk. The clearing and rebuilding process could further strain the environment, leading to long-term ecological consequences. The destructive power of a tsunami does not end when the waves recede, but continues to impact communities long after. The aftermath of a tsunami is a stark reminder of our vulnerability in the face of nature's unpredictable fury. It is a call to action, to better understand these natural disasters and to prepare for their potential occurrence. It is a reminder that we must respect and protect our environment, as we are at the mercy of its unpredictable power. Knowing the threat is half the battle. How can we prepare for such an unpredictable event? The unpredictable nature of tsunamis makes them a formidable foe, but we are not defenseless. There are measures we can take to mitigate the impact of these mighty forces. Firstly, comprehensive disaster planning is crucial. This involves identifying potential threats and vulnerabilities and creating strategies to address them. Cities along the East Coast, from New England to New Jersey, need to have robust plans in place to handle the threat of tsunamis. These plans should include evacuation routes and shelters, as well as strategies for communication and resource distribution in the aftermath of a disaster. Community preparedness is equally important. Every citizen should be aware of the potential risks and know what to do in case of a tsunami. This involves understanding the warning signs, knowing the quickest and safest evacuation route, and having a plan for communicating with loved ones. Schools, businesses, and other institutions should conduct regular drills and provide education on tsunami safety. The role of technology in preparing for tsunamis cannot be overstated. Early warning systems, which use seismic activity and sea level data to detect tsunamis, can provide precious minutes for people to reach safety. Improvements in these systems, as well as in the communication networks that relay their warnings, are vital. Moreover, there is a need for continual research into tsunamis and their effects. This includes studying historical events like the devastating Lisbon earthquake to better understand the unpredictable fury of the Atlantic Ocean. As we deepen our understanding of these natural disasters, we can refine our strategies for dealing with them. Preparedness is our best defense against the unpredictable fury of tsunamis. Together we can build a future that is resilient in the face of these mighty forces. Remember, in the face of nature's might, our greatest strength lies in our ability to plan, adapt, and stand together.